Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us that have been with us. We've seen a few of us through the entire night on the stream. Hope you've been enjoying yourselves. So let's bring us up to speed, and not a lot is actually decided just yet, other than Group 2, in which the Night Riders reached 201 laps and stopped about 2 hours ago because they knew they couldn't be caught. Charlie's Angles in second place on 140. They knew that 61 laps was not achievable in the 2 hours remaining. So they might come back out to cross the line, hope they do, in the last hour or so. Now the sun is not up, but coming up, just behind us in the timing tower, right up at the top. It has been Bullseye Racing, who were temporarily overhauled by Team Strongmow for around about all of 10 minutes or so before Bullseye Racing came back, and they've grown that lead into 4 laps, and both of those teams are lapping pretty quickly, high 130s, low 140s. So we do have 1 hour and 20 minutes remaining of racing, and here's a cliche for you: anything can happen. We've seen teams drop into the pits for 10-20 minutes and lose 10-15 laps, so it can still change. Although they have looked really good. Going Commando always strong in third place, and the Swede Bashers leading the tourist class 8 laps behind on 353. Another stat we're watching out for right through until 7 AM is the longest distance ever covered in a 12-hour race. Currently stands at 354.5 miles, set in 2016, and by our maths, Bullseye Racing are currently looking at achieving about 10 miles more than that at current form. So we'll wait and see. In Group 3, it's all been happening. 3 different teams have all been in the lead over the last couple of hours. Currently, Mowers with Attitude, last year's runners-up, with a 3-lap lead over last year's champions, Mofia. That would be a turn round, wouldn't it? And in third place, it is Mobility Racing. They're on 287 laps, with the leaders around 25 laps ahead. Mowers with Attitude 322, Mofia 319. So the top 2 slots in Group 3 look pretty certain. However, the order could change. There's only, well, 3 laps, so about 6-7 minutes in between those 2 teams. At the bottom, unfortunately, no lap completed for Marlborough Racing yet, despite their grand efforts. I spoke to them around about 7 hours into the race, right in the dead of night, and they said they were going to keep on working, they weren't going to give up. Unfortunately, still on a 0. I'd love to see that go to a 1, even at 6:58 AM. I'd love to see that go to a 1. Plenty of teams have stopped racing for the time being, at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams have stopped racing. That was as high as 19 at one point around about an hour ago, but plenty more maybe just having their breakfast and finding the energy to go on into the last hour. 374 laps completed for our leaders. That's the rundown of Group 2, 3, 4 and the tourist class. And we've got 1 hour and a quarter remaining of racing. And now the sun is well and truly going to be shining on us today. Just been looking at the weather forecast, and where, although, let's be honest, the night has been cold, colder than we anticipated, but we are going to get up to about 25 degrees today. Not quite yet, but we'll get there. We'll be a little bit of shivering going on up in the timing tower, but we've got through it, and we've stood with our racing teams and not endured what they've had to, but we can be proud of ourselves too.
Good morning, Ewan. And yes, it is definitely not warm. It's been a bit chilly tonight, and we stayed in our little tower, and as much as warmth as we can get. Huddled around a hot laptop, and but yeah, it's just been a pretty, well, I mean, in my experience too, a actually quite surprisingly low breakdown issue in terms of in the field. I've seen very few mowers being dragged back to the pits by the support trucks, support quads rather. So I think most of the actual people who are in the pits at the moment, as you just said, who are not currently racing, are probably doing it because, well, it's cold and they didn't fancy doing it, or maybe something has gone bang and broken, and that they're going to fix maybe later and bring it out just for the finish, as most of the teams tend to do. They like to cross the line for the last lap. So we should see a lot more mowers back on the track. It's not very busy out there, less busy than before. But yeah, interesting, quiet overnight, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, what do you think of the? I know we can't see it too well from here, but by reports from our races, the corners haven't dug up really at all. It's worked remarkably well, hasn't it?
No, I was speaking to some of the people who've been out and about on the quads checking out, and they have not at all, absolutely not rutted at all. They're a little rutted on the far side apparently, but on this main area here around on the main pit straight, absolutely flat and just compacted down. But they do, well, it's a bit more squished now, I must admit. Earlier on it was looking like a paved cobble road because all the cracks in the ground were starting to show through between lumps, and so, but it's definitely squished down now. You can see what I'm saying when I said about a flat surface. It's just amazing how it just gets pushed and pushed and pushed. But it hasn't moved or slid. So the surface, top surface, and the intermediate surface underneath are still connected.
It's covered up those cracks wonderfully, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, really has. It's a pretty good paved road, and I mean, the mowers are bouncing a bit. You can just see their little vibrations.
But at 7 p.m. last night, they were bouncing a lot of them, and that's absolutely gone.
That's right. So I think if you speak to the teams, they'll say that the actual track has overall been a very good one this year, and certainly compared to what it was last year, which was atrocious last year. Never again will we use that field. This, I think they should come back with some fairly good enjoyment and satisfaction sort of quotes and feelings from the various teams, that they could actually do some good speeds. I mean, there were speed guns still showing about 40, 43, 44.
There was actually a 46 a moment ago.
Did he?
There was a 46, yeah, they're getting quicker.
They are getting, well, as the track gets smoother, they do. And that's how we've managed to get all the way up to the big 50. Not much more than that, but that's really about the gearing. I reckon that you probably could go faster, but I mean I don't know if you ever saw anything about the land speed record for a lawnmower. There was all sorts of stuff about it. There was Contact or whatever, who are a maker of lawnmowers, decided to go for the land speed record for a lawnmower, but it wasn't a lawnmower. It had the bonnet of a lawnmower, just like we have a bonnet of a Group 4. The rest of it was a space frame with a massive engine in it, and stretched, and yes, it did, I think, do over 100 miles an hour on Pendine Sands, Pendine
wow.
Sands. But it wasn't really a mower. Officially, British Lawnmower hold the record for a British Lawnmower standard spec mower at 56 miles an hour, held by a gentleman by the name of Andy Stemp, and it was a short run track between 2 points or something like that, and yeah, it was Guinness Book of Records job.
So specifically set up to go for the record.
Yes,
so, yeah.
yes, they're very
like,
long gearing on it.
Like the land speed, where you have to do it, they average out over 2 directions, don't they?
Yes.
So
yes.
that was the case as well.
That was the case, yes. It was sometime, it was early 90s or mid 90s, something like that. Again, before I actually became a member and joined the club. It was done somewhere, I don't know. Pete might remember it or whatever. But anyway, so where are we now? We're coming up to, well, it's 10 to 6.
Well, speaking of records,
Yep.
I've just done the maths again,
Oh, no.
and it currently stands that Bullseye Racing, at their current pace, they would beat the distance record over 12 hours by 6 miles.
By 6 miles.
It's coming down. It was 20, then it was 10, now it's 6.
Yeah.
With just over an hour to go, so I'll keep my eye on that.
Yeah.
But that's what it stands at the moment, and they are still lapping fast in the low 140s. Got to keep it up for another 70 minutes, and we could get a record beaten since 2016. That stood.
Yes, it was. I don't know why. I think it was just. It was a good, very good track, and I think it was fairly long too. It was the longest track, so they were able to do long distance without low laps, and but we're using the same engines in 2016. It was still 13.5, except there were Honda engines. I mean Honda before. Was it Tecumseh? No, it might have been Tecumseh, because the kind of it goes in waves. That the favourite engine becomes everyone's using the same engine. So Honda were the go-to engine, then it was Tecumseh, and to say now it's Lonsin. It's really to do with price. I think the Honda engines. Sorry, excuse me. See, the Honda engines, I think, but way back in 2010, were about £600. So it was a kind of an expensive engine. And then the Tecumseh, I think, was about 500. And I said now it's about 540 for a Lonsin. So even though the years have moved on, the actual engines have got cheaper. Or rather, we've picked a cheaper engine. So, 43 STS have got themselves into 7th place now.
They've had quite a night.
They have, after all the engine problems. You observed them swapping the engine. Sweet Bashers, our tourist, it's still up there in 4th place.
And Mowers with attitude at the minute, going to get revenge over Mo Fia towards the last hour.
Happy.
3 laps between them. Mo Fia have started lapping a little bit quicker, but nowhere near enough to bridge 3 laps over the last hour and 10. However,
EPA have got themselves back up again from being 21st. They've grabbed themselves back up again. Anything else on the scoreboard? Northerners have dropped a bit. They must have had another problem because they were further up than that.
No Group 2s out on the track for at least the last hour. They all look to be done for the time being, unless they're going to do a parade lap right at the end.
That's exactly what they'll do. I mean, I understand that the Omar Racing team, the actual frame split away from the actual base. Split away from the base, and they had to go and weld it all back up again. But I would reckon that the what we call them, there's the old boys of Lawnmower Racing, the ones that race the Group 2s, the oldest version of mower that we still have on track, and they're shrinking in numbers. Although I say that, but in actual fact we had 2 new ones. They actually found some Group 2s, and a couple of new people joined and made up numbers, but generally the numbers shrinking. And anyway, they're basically waiting to for probably the last 10-15 minutes and go out, cross the line and complete the race. Everyone wants to complete the race, but not necessarily want to complete the whole race. So we're streaming wise, I think it has been a success. There is some sort of issue with it stalling and then shutting down, which I need to look into, and having to start a new one for everyone to link to, but you seem to be able to do it, and number of viewers keep connecting back in. I know there wasn't any commentary for a number of hours in the early morning. Oh, basically it was just a bit too cold and there wasn't really much to talk about. the actual racing was pretty processional, and we couldn't see anything exciting happening in the pits. So we just let you listen to the mowers and watch the timing and scoring. I say we'll be going live with the PA soon, but just observing from the control tower, there are a number of people who have returned for the finish. Whether or not they've been camping here or have returned in their cars. A few cars have come in to the car park. And there's still a number of cars in the car park. But yeah, a couple of little groups that appeared out of the darkness in their little chairs, with their wrapped up in sleeping bags, the diehards and dedicated lawnmower watchers are out there in the infield watching the mowers go round. Hopefully they've been listening in on the stream or watching timing and scoring. It does look as though we've got some sort of driver change happening with number 43, as I can look down and see in the pits. And they're also calling in, I think, 59, girth on turf. So girth on turf has been called to come in. So this is obviously the last hour of the race. So it's the last stint, effectively. The length of a fuel tank. This will take the rider to the jacket flag. So yeah, there's a couple of... So the inboard has been shown to 43. And they'll be coming in. And 59 further on down the pits. Okay, so okay. Let's bring up the PA. Good morning, 12-hour spectators. I hope you can hear me out there. So yeah, it is now 6 o'clock, the last hour of the race. And I'll be working over there. Can you hear me over there? Brilliant. Thank you for the thumbs up. So, welcome everyone. Welcome back for the last hour of the 2025 12-hour Lawn Mower Race. It's been very cold tonight, but it has meant that the track is turned into a very slick, very fast piece of compacted mud. As you can see, very little bumps in it. The mowers actually are a little bit of vibration, but really very smooth in general for lawn mowers. Corners are not too badly rutted. Lap times are pretty fast. We've had some lap times right down to the 1 minute 30s, 31s. If you see the speed the speed gun in the middle, we've had up to 46. So the current status at the moment, if you haven't been looking at the screen or following us on live stream on YouTube, currently at the moment in the lead is number 47, the Green Bullseye team. They had a bit of a issue during the night with a stub axle, dropped them into second place. They were overtaken by their currently sister team, number 54, Team Strongmo, but they very rapidly got their lead back and are now firmly in the lead with a good 3-lap advantage towards the end. And following on that, we've got number 44 going commando, which is right opposite you. Were you there? The bright orangey thing, who is in laps 1:3:73, so they're in third place. And then we have our first tourist, the Swede Basher, at 365 laps, number 90. He's been doing very well actually, so, and minimum issues. Number 59, Girth on Turf, is 5th. Number 63, Cutting It Fine, is 6th. These are all Group 4s. In 7th place is number 43, STS Racing. They had a major engine issue. I had to replace it with a new engine. That dropped them all the way down to 21st. But they've made their way back with fast driving and lapping back into 7th place. So very well done to the STS Racing team. 8th place, number 48, Never On Time. And 9th place is 86, Old Farts Car, which is the second tourist. They're on 346 laps. 10th is 55, Slow Mo. Northerners Kick Grass are 11th. They also dropped down the leaderboard quite far. They had some sort of issue, but they've also made their way back up again. 12th, 62, Milwaukee Tools. 13th, number 37, Mo's Attitude, our first. And leading currently Group 3. Very close behind is in 14th is number 31, Mo Fear, who were leading Group 3, but must have had an issue somewhere and have dropped down into second place. But they're only 3 laps behind, so maybe they can get them back. And 15th is 64, RLM OB Plus. And then 16th is our last, is 35, NDA Racing, which is our 4th Group 3 in that, no, third. It's third Group 3, so that's the top Group 3s. Group 2s are currently residing in their garages. They are not out on track. You might spot the fact that they are not. Group 3s, Group 2s going round the track at the moment. There have been some issues with them. But generally, the older gentlemen who race the Group 2s, I think, feel that they've raced enough these days, they're not likely to win overall. So they might as well just park the actual vehicle, have a rest, have a cup of tea, have a sleep, and then they'll bring it out. And you should see them probably coming out in the next 10-15 minutes to complete the actual finish of the 12-hour race. So that's me. I'm going to hand over to our team commentator, Ewan Dunlop, who has been excellent all through the race. Thank you very much for providing your excellent on-air talent. And you've had a little sleep and a rest. It's also been too cold. I couldn't send you out. I'd break you. So anyway, welcome.
Far too delicate. Thank you, Mark. One stat I have been tracking through the night, and it's still tracking in the direction of a new record, is the overall distance covered in a 12-hour race. Currently stands at 354.5 miles, set in 2016. However, by my mathematics, Bullseye Racing are on track to beat that by between 6 and 10 miles at the moment. And that is if they continue these low 140s. As Mark mentioned, we have seen times through the night in the high and the mid 130s when things really got going. But to be honest, since we started at 7 p.m. yesterday, the average lap times haven't really slowed down at all. They've constantly been in the low 140s for the leading dozen or so teams. So they've been consistently quick. Now, as they've tired, the drivers, the track has improved and improved. So it's sort of leveled out and it's never really changed much. So if you want to be winning these things, the very low 140s is what you need to be hitting. And with almost nobody's had absolutely no mechanical issues. Even our leaders have swapped around a few times, but Bullseye have been leading pretty much for the last 6-7 hours. There has been minor issues, but consistency is key, and fixing those minor issues rapidly is going to be all important, because these races, Group 4 and Group 3, are going to come down to under 5 minutes or so. So if you've been able to get the correct spanner out the box quickly, or get the right cable cut, then it all adds up to seconds, and seconds mean minutes, and that can mean the difference between winning your group or winning overall. It's going to be that tight. We saw last year both the overall and particularly the Group 3 were won by 2 and 3 laps respectively.
Sorry, I had to interrupt you, but they can't get 59 to come in. They're way. Oh, he's got it. They've done it now, but 59 has gone past twice now, and the pits has indicated for him to box, and he's gone straight past. And they've now been waving their arms like mad. Eventually, he had to wave across to the far side of the track. Eventually, he'd see him, so he'll be in next time round.
Been enjoying the sunrise.
It's funny, exactly. He's enjoying it so much. He doesn't want to come in. He's had no, I'm not coming in. I want to stay out. Sorry.
Currently lying 4th in class and 5th overall, Gerthon Toff. Still be interesting to see if he does come in this time round. I'll keep an eye on him. He's around about 45 seconds away. But as you said, he did finally give a little thumbs up. But maybe that was just, I can see you. I'm just not listening to you. At the moment. See our buggies back on track, just monitoring, doing laps of the course, but they've not had, again, too much to do overnight. They've had a very easy job this year.
It has been.
They'll be very grateful.
I mean, now that we get close to the end of the race, we can definitely say it has been a very clean and uneventful track, a race. And through the night, it's sun is rising up behind us. It is quite pretty out there, and as you said, today is supposed to be really relatively warm, so long maybe bring some sunshine and rays to warm this place up. I'm just hoping by the time I go out to do the presentations, it's actually shorts weather, because I've been wearing them all night. True on-air talent, true commentator. Yes, you probably will be all right. You won't be freezing your things off. So there is in the middle of the actual pedestrian area, the actual maybe infield, is the actual winners podium for the overall first, second and third, and there will be a presentation of the Winners' Cup and some bottles of champagne to spray around. And you are obviously invited to come and gather round while the presentation is made by Ewan.
And then a little bit later at 9 o'clock scheduled will be the presentation for the groups as well.
Yes, indeed. That's generally a kind of a semi-private affair, but if you want to hang around, it will be done in front of race control. But yeah, there's going to be a big gap, well, a gap between the overall and the sort of group presentations, because there's a lot of paperwork and timing to work out who's what where, and to print it all out. And we need other things too. There are some other cups that are given out as part of the 12-hour event, and so yeah, that doesn't happen till after we. And there's also a lot of, we try and gather in a lot of stuff like bales are put into blocks of 8 and things like that to sort of do a bit of semi-clear up work, because tell the truth, after presentation everyone disappears off, and guess what, as asleep. So yeah, so I mean, what else is there? The stream has been working. We've got 26 people on it today at the moment.
Hit a high of 76,
we had 76
late last night, didn't we?
2,000 views before it somehow died, but
resurrected it though, didn't you?
Yeah, we
Give
did.
it put a circuit on the life support machine.
Yeah, gave it a bit of a hit with a hammer, and it came back to life. So the cameras have worked well. I do appreciate the comments from second act, and other ones, nice ones we had from various people who were chatting in the sort of midnight time. It's good to see, and so definitely this is a keeper. And okay, Andrew Worley says, watch start live. Aha, brilliant. And now awake and watch it end in bed. No, yes, you are mad, but hey, mad is good, mad is good. So yeah, well, here we go. I say you will see the end on the cameras. You will see them. You won't see the flag possibly because it's directly in front of the race control, and the cameras don't cover it. But you will see the 1, 2, and 3 come round the actual track on the left top camera. So they'll cross the line, and they're waving and stuff. You might see also the victory lap, because they'll come back and pick up the checkered flag, and probably go up and down the pit lane on the. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for your comments.
We are approaching the final 45 minutes of racing now, and to those watching us online, as Andrew has, please do leave any comments in for us, and we can read those out. Where you're watching from, who you're supporting in particular, or what your highlight of the race has been thus far. We are, I think, a few more mowers have come out now. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 9 off the track, so somebody else has joined us. In fact, Northerners Kick Grass has not stuck a lap in for about 20 minutes now, so they have left us for the time being. And NDA, who's R&M OB Plus, an hour since they last chucked a lap in. We'll see if they come out for the finish. We hope they do. As we've mentioned, the Group 2s, we'd love to see them back out for a glory lap right at the end, particularly the night riders to cross the finish line on the 12 hours. We know they've wrapped this up with 201 laps. They did that with a couple of hours to spare. Charlie's Angles on 140. And it was a bit tighter between third and fourth. Omar Racing and Lawn Connery, who both had a couple of issues in the race. Only 5 laps between those two. And in fact, Lawn Connery, we've not seen them since about the 6.5 hour mark. We saw Omar Racing a bit more recently at 9.5 hours. So maybe they're just biding their time. Again, cross the line, get the job done. 59 is saying 1 more lap, I think he indicated there. Just one index finger was up. He's still not been in, because I've been watching the lap times. It's still in the 140s. They've not made a change yet. So they are desperately keen. He's enjoying himself. Girthon, they've had a good night though. Girthon Turf, they're one of those teams that's sort of been building their way up slowly, still lapping in the low 140s. And this will be for any team you see now making a driver change, that will be the last change of the race with 45 minutes to play with.
I bet that's Matt Lewis. You just can't get him off. And there's Bazza there pulling his hair out over there, going, get in here. Team boss. But yeah, Matt's probably saying, no. But yeah, we'll have to follow him as he come round this time and see if we can spot 59. And see if, because, well, if he's going to run out of fuel if he doesn't actually come in soon. Because he must have been out there for some time.
I mean, they've been calling him in for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, they have, yes. I mean, he must have done at least 4 or 5 laps.
It's really nice to see, just seeing Blade Runner 65 go past, because they were one of the teams that has a lot of troubles, and they've got like the teeth marks on the front of their Group 4. They had a pretty torrid time, 169 laps completed, but now they are finally out for the last 45 minutes. So everybody making an effort to get to the finish line and not sort of finish their races in the pits.
Oh no. Well, as alluded earlier on, as Bullseye crossed the line for another time, is that you have to cross the line. He's coming in. It's, yeah, that's it. He's coming in.
At the 8th time of asking.
Yeah. And he's going to have to get off now. No, he hasn't got off yet. Oh, he is getting off now. There we go. I was liking you too much. There's a bit of a hug there from one of the guys. Sorry, mate, you've got to come in. Yeah, and so someone's now gone out. Obviously, a quick refuel, and that's it for at least the refueling was shorter, I suppose, because there was less fuel required, because there's less time. But yeah, every mower has to cross the line under its own power, even if it's under just a starter motor. It has to. It cannot be pushed, and but it has to cross under its own power. So any mower that's got the energy. Hang on a sec. And back.
So there's no change at the top. 4 laps between our top 2 teams, Bullseye Racing and then our next door team in the pits, Team Strongmo. They have been 1 and 2 for the last 3.5, 4 hours now. It did change very temporarily right in the middle of the night. Going Commando have slowly worked their way up this timing board all through the night and have got themselves into 3rd place. And they are leading the Swede Bashers now by 5 laps. That did swap back and forth over the course of half a dozen laps or so. And the Swede Bashers are actually lapping about 5 seconds faster at the moment. They're one of the only teams in the 130s. Saying that, SDS Racing have just thrown down a 136.829. That is rapid stuff for 6:20 in the morning.
Yeah, someone's got, I said, their morning Weetabix, and he's got lots of energy to go through it. What's that, 46? Yep.
Well, at that pace, they could still potentially get into 5th. They're only 3 laps behind Girth on Turf, and on the same lap, just 1 minute 12 behind, cutting it fine. They're not going to reach the top 3 unless one of them has an issue, so they're not going to be on the group podium, but they'll try as much as they possibly can, because they're still 136, 137, which is going to be 6 or 7 seconds clear of any of the group 4s ahead of them. So times that over, they're going to get what, 25 more laps in maybe. Yeah, it's going to be a big ask. It's going to be not possible in top 3, but they could get themselves into 4th in group. They won't catch the Swede Bashers 4th overall and in the tourist class.
I think it's possible that Bullseye has some issue. That's Team Strongmo, but I think everyone else is pretty much fixed in position, as say, unless there's some major problem, and it has been known before. I mean, well, 1 year actually, well, it wasn't actually an issue, it turned out, but a guy had a puncture. And the last 15 minutes, he had a puncture. But he didn't come in. He sat up on the seat, balanced the mower on 3 wheels, and drove the last 15 minutes all round the track on 3 wheels.
That's pretty clever.
And managed to cross the line, and we didn't have any rule against not having 4 wheels. So we had to give the winner to him.
Wow. Group 3, the gap has increased for mowers with attitude. They're approaching on 4 laps clear now of Mo Fear. That's the team of Richard Atherton, Joe Fowler, Peter Skew. 4 times runners-up, including last year. They've been absolutely desperate to get that monkey off their back. And at the moment, into the last 40 minutes now, that is how far they are away of potentially ending their Group 3 careers. They're desperate to move on to the Group 4s in the 12-hour, but they weren't going to do it until they won the Group 3, because they run Group 4 in the Sprint Championships. That's where their preference is. So maybe next year they will be able to finally promote themselves into a Group 4 in the 12-hour. Not too far away.
No, I'm pretty certain they will, yes. I'm afraid, yes, Mo Fiero will have to take a position drop this year. They had it last year, and Mo attitudes were second. So if the roles are reversed, positions are reversed, and Richard, and Peter, and can take that winning trophy.
They did lead by 8 laps at one point during the night.
Yeah, I mean, you got to say that it's hard fought, and they've earned their place. They've definitely earned their place. So hopefully, no issues. Northern and Kickgrass have dropped a bit. Well, no, they've been 14 for a bit, but after their big win last year, but then all the stuff that followed afterwards, it's really good to see them on the track and competing. NDA and a 16th with the misspelt lettering, but they obviously had a few problems. Grass Holes, Grass Bandits, Get Set Mo, Shonky Racing. I mean, they've just been buzzing around the middle, haven't they? Really, they haven't really done anything spectacular. Gashed and Bashed now, they were right at the top. Tourist Task from but they're down in 24th, so they must have had some serious issue. Nice to find out somewhere, really.
They've not put a lap in since about 3.5 hours ago either.
Oh, right, well, yes. Something major must have gone bang with that one. Be interesting to find that one out, but if it gets warm.
Now, the race for, I'm going to say, 3rd place in Group 3 is really going to go down to the wire. NDA Racing currently occupying that 308 laps, but Mobility Racing 307. So there's only going to be, 100 seconds or thereabouts between those two for the last spot on the podium in Group 3. And I'm not going to discount R&M Spare Parts either. 305 laps completed and 5th in class, but only 3 behind NDA. And there has been reliability issues across the entire Group 3. So you wouldn't discount in the last, coming up to 35 minutes, one more problem arising somewhere. So 3rd step on the podium in Group 3, all to play for. And as we edge closer towards the finish line, the top spot looking a little bit more secure for mowers with attitude. Group 2, again, all wrapped up for Night Riders. 2nd place, all wrapped up for Charlie's Angles. And likewise, Omar Racing in 3rd place. Now, Omar Racing came 3rd last year, but they managed to complete 222 laps to get 3rd place. This year, they're going to manage it with just 98.
You don't have to do many laps to come 3rd in Group 2. No, absolutely. Well, they obviously well, yes, I understand it was a mower issue. It completely snapped in half. They managed to get a friendly welding machine or someone to weld it for them, but they've obviously decided that well, one more year older. I mean, they're all not spring chickens, I understand. So they've probably decided that 98 laps was enough. They might even just do 2 laps and make it a nice round 100. I don't know.
You'd think so, wouldn't you, in the last 10 minutes? Sun properly shining now. All the shadows rising from west to east across the track. See plenty of you grabbing coffees on the infield as well.
Yep.
to warm yourselves up. It will rise a few degrees in the next hour or so, according to BBC Weather. We
The
shall
BBC.
see.
Everyone trusts the BBC.
At what point can they officially turn their lights off?
Well, they could do now if they wanted to. I mean, it's not night anymore. Dusk is here.
Yeah,
But
sure
they
there's an
probably,
official time.
well, they might do it in the pits, I suppose, but they certainly won't do it out on the track. There is a switch somewhere in the dashboard, but I don't think that even worry about it or think about it. It doesn't make any difference to what the mower does, so just leave it on. They've probably forgotten about lights altogether. We're not charging anymore.
Guys, it took £6,200.
So 35 or 34 minutes remaining until the checkered flag comes down after 12 hours of racing. We're edging our way there. Let me just watch who comes over next, because at the moment on the timing board it's 3 laps. It's always been 4. Of course, it depends where they are on the lap. I'm expecting Bullseye Racing to cross the start and finish next. And actually back up towards, they're going to be 1 lap away from 400 circuits of the track next time they come round. Last year, of course, every year the track distance changes, but just for reference, 405 laps completed by Northerners Kickgrass to win last year. SDS in second, 403. AR Racing, 396 in third. And yeah, Bullseye do extend that back to 4. So it's 3.5-ish laps advantage for our leaders. We'll keep our eyes on the top 2 groups. Nothing will change in the tourist class. That'll be won by the Swede Bashers over the Old Farts Cart and Grassholes. Now, in qualifying and in the first half an hour of our race last night, the tourists occupied, I think, 6 of the top 10 spots. However, they now only occupy 2 of the top 19. And that was something that was predicted by all the more experienced lawnmower races around me. It's absolutely happened exactly as predicted. In fact, just 3, there's 5 in the top 25, but they do occupy 3 of the bottom 6 spaces in the 25. So they really have dropped down. And the Group 4s have risen to the top and stayed there as we moved past 10, 11 o'clock last night, and there's been no change at all. Sweet Bashers did threaten at around about 2, 3 a.m. to cause a Group 4 upset, but they were thwarted by Going Commando, Team Strongbow and Bullseye's pure consistency to keep dropping the laps in the low 140s. And with about 3 hours to go, we realised this wasn't going to change. So it's going to be Group 4 overall, 1, 2 and 3. And 8 of the top 9 spots as well. Group 3 did manage to get 7th place last year. Mo Fear won Group 3, 7th overall. Not going to be the case in 2025. The best Group 3 is going to be probably at the very best in 11th, maybe even 10th place, but 12th right now. 2 laps behind Slow Mo in 10th. So not as going to be as high up the ranking as 2024.
Just quickly, that gentleman, Chucky Weetabix, has just posted at number 65. Is still going despite a blown engine and a big crash. So I don't know where that happened, but thanks for the information, Chucky Weetabix. Well, that's an update for number 65.
Now, Callum I can't. At some point last night, I can't remember. Callum came in and showed us a video of a crash in front of him. So because we haven't seen or heard of any other. So maybe it was that
was
incident.
it. Maybe that was it. Maybe yes. It was early on. I think it was on the far side of actually. I didn't quite see the actual video myself, but we might be able to get that from Callum again from his camera on the actual mower he has.
And that is the Blade Runners team.
Yes.
177 laps completed and still going.
That's good.
30th place overall and around about 20th. Maybe just inside the top 20 in Group 4 class as well.
Yeah. So numbers are growing on the actual stream. So yeah, welcome to the morning session. The last 30 minutes of the race as the flag will drop at 7 o'clock. With 400 laps done so far, 401. So 30 minutes, probably another 30 laps. No, of course not. It's 1 minute 40, so another 15, 16 laps, I think, is going to be the number. As I said, I was telling Ewan off air about the 500. Some of you might have been there to watch it. It was our 50th anniversary year, so we had to do something different for the race. So we decided to go with 500 laps, as you can see why, because we're doing 400 odd laps for a normal 12 hour. So 500 laps just made it a bit longer, and it turned out with a clever design of the track, we actually managed to get exactly 2 hours more. So it was a 14-hour race with 500 laps, and they loved it. Well, the riders loved it, actually. They actually really enjoyed the extra time out on the track. And we did actually have a veterans team too. We introduced veterans because there was a number of people who were ex-old lawnmowers who fancied coming back for the 50th. And we said anyone who was over the age of 55 or hadn't raced 5 years was considered to be a veteran, and they were allowed to have 6 riders per team. And we had one team entered, Andy Stemp, his brother Trevor Stemp, Andy's Zululis, and I'm trying to think of the two were, but well, they came 19th in the end. So much for veterans. So yeah, they were definitely, they said we're going to go out and just gently poodle around and enjoy the racing. Nah. They got out on the track and it was full on as fast as they could go, overtaking and doing everything. And they had a whale of a time, although they did hurt a bit afterwards, being older people and not used to it.
Just seen 37 rows with attitude rattling past down the Curtis Building Straight. And looking pretty comfortable. Leaders by 4 laps, and that's not changed for well over an hour now. It's been pure consistency from that team. Now lapping in the 154, which is slower than it has been. However, the team that's chasing the Mofia outside 2 minutes, so gaining on every single lap are Group 3 leaders.
That was old farts just pulling out of the pits, so they've been in and out a number of times actually by the sound of it. I recognise the orangey thing, so we're old farts. So they're in 9th place, so second tourist, fine. And oh, he was overtaken. Wow. That was the leader, overtaken by another mower.
Oh, Fart's car.
Yes, it was. Maybe, I know, I reckon his bullseye are now pacing themselves.
Well, they've just done a 138, so they're pacing
well,
themselves pretty quick.
That's a fast pace. That's not a slow pace. Okay, he's just overtaking back, just overtaking back again. Let's get it out there. Maybe he was signaling the pits at that point, so he wasn't concentrating.
Lovely to see so many cars coming in. There's about a quarter of the left-hand side of that car park full. And it's only just gone 6:30. It's absolutely wonderful. And the coffee wagon is doing incredibly good trade over there.
Oh, yes. Well, Sam's Refreshments. If you want a bacon butty or a sausage or sandwich or a cup of coffee, mostly coffees, I think. Yeah, she's been through all that. She's been the only one who stayed behind and supplied food to the masses. I was just thinking about your visit to the bullseye pits and your comments about how well they were doing and everything was looking good, and the next minute they're in the pits with a broken stub axle.
I'm not going anywhere near them right now.
I'm not going to send you up there because you're going to get lynched, I think, if you go through that gate, because they're not going to want you around anymore as a bad influence or whatever.
Absolutely nowhere near. I'm going to check what distance they've done so far. So the lap is 0.87 miles, so 0.87, and they currently done 404 laps, so they're on 351.5 miles. They are only 3 miles short of the record with 25 minutes to go.
They're going to beat them. They're going to beat it.
By some as well.
Yes, they are. So, yeah, a record to Bullseye. And they'll have to reprint the old program now for next year and make sure it's updated with the new figures. And Mark Robinson puts that together. There's a lot of hard work that goes into that program. And as it's generally a freebie, but yeah, hopefully people did put some decent cash into the charity pot for pancreatic cancer, which is what killed our previous sort of 12-hour chairman and long-term racer. He also managed to was very, how would you say, enthusiastic about trying to drag Europeans into our event. So that's why there was his team, Les Lux Pussies. I know we kept having to say it all through the night, and I think he chose the name deliberately, so we're going to have to say it all the way through the night. He was set that up, but we had a number of Luxembourg people, and he went to Europe a lot. He managed to destroy a trailer over there by pulling in front of a truck and then doing a runner. Not a good idea, Les, but anyway, there's all sorts of stories about Les. But he was a definite avid mower person at every event, getting involved, doing organisation. And then he had a Group 2 and a Group 3 and a Group 4. The Group 4 was bought and by closed auction. The mower was auctioned off at closed auction, and it went to America. So Angelique got it, and and apparently that's what they're going to use for their 12 hours, their model. So now they're going to use Les's Group 4 mower as the the model or the master for how to build a mower in America for a 12-hour, which should hopefully bring it back so that they can, unlike most of the American mowers, they can turn right as well as they're turning left. And they can do road circuits and not just ovals. Anything else there? Ewan, anything else you spotted?
Just that our leaders are actually the fastest mower on track right now. So there's absolutely no stopping them. Not at all. Only 2 of them are going sub 140. The other one is Sweet Bash, is the tourist mower. But our race leaders are fastest mower on track. They're not just going for a win. They're looking to make it as big a win as they possibly can.
Yes, I was just saying. Elfie and Kenny, our top 2 Group 4 racers in the club, are always battling each other for the win. I've not spoken about our sprint meet events, but we do have 10 other events in the year, Some of them are at shows where we put on, obviously we race, but we put on a show, do some commentary, put some speakers out, and we're an attraction for a show. Like shows, they normally either pay us or provide us with lots of stuff that we don't have to pay for, so therefore it's a cheap event. So whatever money we make in entry fees and whatever is ours.
When you say show, country shows and the like.
Country shows, yes. The Kent show, we went over there, and we were off to Newbury show. We went to Westfields, which was a woodcutter show down near Goodwood, and Essex. We were at the Blake House Farm, which was a craft centre, and they were doing a sort of open day weekend with attractions and things like that. So, but the races are short sprints, and we start the race, obviously go around very quickly, and then I don't know, 8 laps, something like that. And but everyone starts, all the good races start at the back. They literally position themselves, even to the point where, as Elfie was telling us, yes, at Allfold, which is not far away over there, he positioned himself on the quite far back and didn't know that there was a rut from where a water pipe had been put in and the ground had sunk, and he didn't know it was there. And he sort of positioned himself back behind it, set off, hit it, took off, and said, "Whoa, what was that?" And anyway, he didn't position himself there again. But yeah, they always position, both Elfie and Kenny, both normally race 66 and 27. They're their actual real racing numbers. For the 12-hour, everyone's assigned a number. That's the only event that we do that for, and so they're always racing, bang, 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 bang. It's always good to watch. And you must come down for a normal weekend and see a bit of sprint racing if you fancy it.
I shall. I'm not too far away.
You are indeed, sir. You are a West Sussex boy, so like me.
Now, I want to point out to 24th position, one man went to mow. That is Michael Robinson, and he is still going. He has had a couple of breaks, naturally, but he's still lapping sub 2 minutes. He's completed 253 laps on his own in the Tourist class. That's quite incredible. That's one of the feats of the weekend, isn't it?
That is definitely, well, yeah, definitely one of the, at the top there, as doing Ironman. The 12-hour Ironman is impressive. We've had 4-hour Ironmans, 6-hour Ironmans, but the 12-hour, not many have completed it, and it looks like he's still going, and he's not so hurt that he can stay on the mower. And I'm just looking for him where he is on the track. 87, that's 52. He's going in, but yeah, I'll see if I can spot. There's 90 and 55, 37. Where is 87? That's 35 on the far side. What's coming down here? Lights are off. 42, 31, and there's the leader, Morrison line, 47, followed by 54. That's close, but that's 4 laps apart. So I think he's just lapped him again. So he just gained another lap on his closest rival, number 54. So you'll see 47 and 54. Line astern. Oh, a bit of a took the corner very tight there. Did number 47 and Bullseye Racing, but 54 was right behind him. But so many laps back that it doesn't really make a difference whether he does overtake him or not. Crossing line now is 59, and on the other side, still looking 43. 43 with a mud guard that looks completely trashed to me. There was some talk of fitting mud flaps at the start of the race, and a lot of people did. But it wasn't required because really the ground was a bit wet, but it wasn't wet enough for mud. There he is, 87. Just crossed the line now. In an orange mower. Low seat. He's just going around the actual toe hitch at the moment, which takes him into AJW corner, and then it's coming up now main straight. There he is, 87. In the orange mower with the wheel horse with the kingpin, taking him into Lucking Brothers corner. The top on the rise, coming round. So then it takes him into what we call the complex through the Savills corner, and then up and around and into the Oak Blokes corner, and then it's the Meron Fred corner into the drop, down to the big curve where the roller is, which is we call the Martin lead beta corner, joinery corner. Then we have the S's, which is the old left, right. And then you follow it back round to pit corner, and that's the lap completed. I hope everyone who's in the infield has had a view from different places around the actual field. Taking a wander to a different part of the crowd fence and observe the different corners. I mean, the complex where it's got to come down and around and out the other side. Very technical sort of bit of the track. It looks pretty good to me. They're not very fast through there, but it's meant to slow them down. So we're crossing 44, and he's got thumbs up, so that's Carl's thinking he's happy.
And it's official. Bullseye Racing have just broken the distance record of 354.5 miles. They're now over 356. So we predicted it would be quite late in the day, but they have done it. And with another 14 minutes to play with, they're going to get maybe another 6 miles or so, 7 miles in as well. So well done already. Not won the race yet. It's looking good. But they have set a new distance record in the process. Well done, Bullseye Racing.
Congratulations, yes. You now have a new record, which will go into the book. I just wanted to say that Stuart McIntyre, I think there might be a relationship with that. You think it might be something to do with the brain related to Callum McIntyre? Anyway, he says, loving the coverage again this year. Cheering on Mo Fear. He must be related somewhere. In the Group 3s. Well done. Thanks for posting in. And, I mean, they do have a chance. But, unfortunately, at the moment, there is 5 laps between them. So unless Mower Attitude has some sort of issue. And I can send our friendly roving reporter down there to see if he will give the old touch of death to Mower Attitude. And bring him in with some broken something. I know that Bullseye Racing will not let him into their pits, but otherwise I think Mo Fear are going to be second this year.
They have a restraining order against the top end of the pit up there right now. They've got guards holding me at least 20 metres back.
You'll get Team Strong Motor. Come here. Whoops.
That's Mo Fear. He was being called in, but that was a Night Rider hoodie on the number 61.
They've run up the pits, and then they're running back down the pits.
But Mo Fear haven't stopped. They've carried on going, I think.
No, he's definitely pulled in now. He's definitely pulled in.
I wonder what that's about. Because they're comfortably in second. They're not going to catch first place now. With 5 laps between them and 12 minutes remaining. They literally need Mowers with Attitude to stop right now, and then they still need to go very fast for 14 minutes just to catch them. So looking pretty much wrapped up for Mowers with Attitude. They're going to break their duck of 4 second place finishes in Group 3. Finally tick that box, and in 2026 move on to the Group 4 we anticipate. Up at the top, 4 laps clear for Bullseye Racing. That's been the score, well, for a few hours now. and that is also getting close to insurmountable for Team Strongmow. Going commando, they will finish in 3rd place overall and in group, 6 laps clear of the Tweed Bashes and 11 behind Team Strongmow. So that is one position that we can say is absolutely done. On top, of course, Group 2, there's been no change at all in the last few hours. The Night Riders have got that in the bag with 201 laps, retaining their title from 2024. We are 20 seconds away from our final 10 minutes of the 2025 12-hour race. Thank you for being with us. We know plenty of you have joined us late last night, have rejoined us again this morning. There's got to be a couple of hundred people in here on the infield to see the conclusion of this year's race. And you'll be able to get to celebrate with us in person.
So 53 people now online. Welcome, welcome. Good morning to you on this fine Sunday morning. And welcome to everyone again, the people who are now turning up and coming through the gates into the field. For those of you who spent all night wrapped up in your sleeping bags, well done, congratulations and thank you. There's a few of you there. We couldn't see you in the pitch black, but as the sun came up, I spotted you around the track. So you die-hard lawnmower spectators, congrats, and I say hats off to you. It's good to see, and I'm very pleased. People obviously have been camping. We've had, as I said, a number of campers and people staying overnight. So again, really quite successful in that score. Well done. Now people are starting to get themselves prepared for the end. I will sort of will need to remind, and if this gets back to the actual, oh, we got a problem with what's the problem with that one over there? It's is that Dan? No, it's not Dan. It is Dan. No accelerator. 35. NDA Racing. Oh, well, that's Dan. You see, that's Dan Jones. He's coming back some tools. And they're going over to fix. Oh, we've got another problem over there. We've got another one too broken down. So the last 10 minutes is all chaos now. We've got mowers breaking down all the place.
56.
56.
Smoking Grass.
Smoking Grass. Group 4.
No, they've not put a lap in for over an hour. 50.
I just can't quite see it. Is it 58? Was 58.
Unless 56 will go on out for one glory lap right at the end, and they only made it, 100 metres or so.
It's very possible, I suppose. Maybe that's what they were doing.
I'm sure it is 56.
I don't think, we don't know at 58.
Yeah, so Smoking Grass were going out for one parade lap right at the very end, and it's not going to happen.
No, they haven't quite made it around the whole lap. Well, they haven't actually made it around a third of the lap, or quarter of the lap. And there's Kenny, all getting ready. So, yeah, so just a reminder to everyone, let's get this, do not cross the pit lane, do not cross the track, do not move from out the pit lane while the race is continuing. Even when the flag goes down, stay in your positions until all mowers have crossed the line. Anyway, Bullseye, Kenny, you can see him, and Team Strong Mow have made their way down to the start-finish line to welcome in their mowers. But as I say, it's getting rather exciting now, actually. So
I can make my way downstairs. I could speak to Kenny before they actually. I won't. I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until they cross that finish line before I speak to anybody. But I'll go down there and enjoy it with them. Let me just plug in. 2 seconds.
can you hear me?
Yes, I'm on my way.
All right. Go and enjoy yourself down there.
I'm gonna
First time experience?
I'm going to walk the entire 10 metres towards the finish line from here.
Oh,
All right.
and we've got some waving people on the cameras. Is that, yes, you're coming through. We can see you. You're on the stream. That's the team down there. No, we're not having any of those. No more moonies or anything. Just wave at your team. Yep, you're on camera.
What's the official time remaining, Mark? It must be
Remaining time is 5 minutes. It's now 6:55.
Excellent.
6:55, 5 minutes to go. And we're 416 laps. And where is 47 at the moment? Also does, yeah, I mean, it is 11:55 and 56 seconds. So following on, we
got
do...
a problem with the mower at the far end of the pit straight, just being pushed back into life.
Okay, it looks like that purple one's going. Dan must have fixed it. And also 56 looks like it's gone too.
It was the 37 mower with attitude being pushed. Oh, the leaders in Group 3 being pushed at the top of the pit straight. But I think they've got a big enough lead now. I think they're okay. They were 4 or 5 laps leading with 5 minutes remaining. They're all good, but they'll want to cross the finish line under their own power and do it properly, not sort of fizzle out to an end, even though they got this wrapped up.
Well, Bullseye Racing with 417 laps. Number 54, standing right next to Bullseye, is on 413 laps. So they're all friends. That's Dan and Kenny and the teams in their bright, luminous green tops, standing here in front of race control, all waiting. So let's see. I don't know who's going to be dropping the flag on this one. But the flag is ready down there. And they're all lining up. But as I say, do not cross the actual pit line, please. No kids or dogs or anything. Stay behind the barriers. It's still an active race. And these mowers can still kill you. So they're full chat coming down there at 40 miles an hour. That's now 88 just crosses the line.
Well, they've just come out the pits, actually, 88.
Oh.
So I'm not sure when their last official lap was. That is the grass soles of Dan, Vinny and Harry. Is that someone coming out for a little glory lap at the end? I think they've just appeared. And also the 89 of Gashit and Bashit, who we know started well, had a bit of a disaster in the middle. I think they're going to come out for the last 2 minutes as well. They're trying to start that mower as vigorously as they can right now.
I can see them, yes, well done. Yep, this is it. They get them out there on the last one. They've only done 240 laps, 48 laps rather. So yeah, hopefully they can get it going.
86, unfortunately, is dribbling to a finish. That's the old farts cut, and they've stopped outside of their pit lane.
Well,
with a minute to go.
Well,
and so
they are the right side of the finish line but they are in a dangerous position and really should get behind the barrels. So be careful, people. Can you move inside the barrels?
Cutting Edge Motorsport also have stopped about 40 metres before the finish line.
The handlers come off and cross the track. So just get the mower off the track. Get the mower off the track. We've got mowers lining up at stern here. It's getting all very
messy. 63 has got a very dodgy wheel.
Yeah, those
And
aren't
it's
looking great. That
53
is
has
all
got a
over
very
the place,
dodgy
isn't
wheel,
it?
crosses the line, but it's still a bit early at the moment. Who has got the flag? Where is the check?